Well, good evening and welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. I am one tired little puppy, let me tell you. I am so tired, but let's get our songs going. Today is Sparkling Susan's Juliana, her daughter, Juliana. Today's Susan's daughter, Juliana. Boy, that's a mouthful when you're tired. Juliana, your mom wanted me to sing to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Juliana. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Duane Webb's birthday, so Duane, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Duane. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And it's also Roman, and I watched the video today, Edie. Lewinsky. Did I say it right? Lewinsky? Lewinsky? She told me how to pronounce it at the end of her video today, which was her day 2 vlog. I watched it today. And yes, Edie, I watch your videos. I watch everybody's videos, the whole thing, all the way to the end, every time. And she told me, Roman, your mother's maiden name was Joint. Why didn't she just keep that? It's so much easier. Anyway, it's Roman's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roman. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all 3 of you have a side note, or have a great, oh, I'm telling you, I'm tired. I hope you all 3 have a great birthday. On a side note, Roman, every time, and I mean every time I see a train, I think of you. And every time I'm stopped by a train, I think of you. I just get so annoyed. There ought to be a law, because some of these trains, I counted one, I think it was like, I forget. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was like 75 cars. I'm thinking, how can they pull that many cars? And how is that legal? Because it blocks everything. But I know he likes his trains. So more power to you, Roman, but I'm not a big fan of trains. No, they block out all my traffic. I try to time it. When I was working, there was a train that if I left to go to work, so I would avoid the train, I got to work about 15 minutes early. You know me, if you've watched my videos, I'm one of these people that if I start at 6 o'clock, I'm there at 6 o'clock. I'm not there at 6:01. I'm there right at 6 o'clock. But you're not going to see me there at 10 to 6. No, you're not. But if I wanted to get to work on time, I'd be 15 minutes early because I had to beat the train. But if I was late and I waited to go like at a normal time, I would be 10 or 15 minutes late because I'd get stuck by the train because it was right by my work. The only time I ever went to work early was when I worked at Montgomery Wards and I wanted to be made full-time. And the only way you could be full-time is if you worked 32 hours consistently for, I think it was 7 or was it 12 weeks? I think it was 12 weeks. For 12 weeks, you had to have at least 32 exactly hours before you could have that done. They always scheduled you just so that you just kind of missed it. Like you'd have 31 point something or 31 or 30 and you can never get it. But I found a way around the system because I found out that if I started like at 6 o'clock, you could punch in from 5:54 to 6 o'clock and it would be the same time. But if you punched in at 5:53, you got 7 minutes. And then the same thing as when you punched out at 6 o'clock. If you punched out at 6:06, it was like you punched out at 6. But if you punched out at 6:07, you got an extra 7 minutes. So what I would do is I would punch in 7 or 8 minutes early and punch out 7 or 8 minutes late. And then I was keeping track of all my minutes. And then sometimes if I needed to have a couple more minutes to get to the 32 hours average, I would stay a little bit longer. I'd volunteer to stay a little bit longer. And so then when I had all of that, the time in, and I double tracked it, I even waited an extra week just to make sure. And then I went to personnel and I said, I'd like to be made full-time. Because if you're full-time, you got a set schedule, you got benefits, you got more money, and it was just better all the way around. I didn't really care about the insurance. You could get insurance, but I was under Jim's insurance, and so I didn't really care. So I went to personnel and said, I'd like to be made full-time. And they go, well, I'm sorry, there's no full-time positions in your department. It's already full. And you have to average 32 hours. And I said, I think if you check my time cards, you'll see that I did. Well, I don't think so because managers are very diligent about watching that. And I said, well, I think I've got it. And I did. I had 32.57 minutes. I almost had 33 hours average. So when I became a manager, nobody was going to try that trick on me because I was keeping an eye on people. Yeah, because it kind of like if you're a manager, you didn't want a lot of full-time people because it kind of threw your scheduling off and stuff. But that was really the only time I was ever early. I was never really late for work. I can't say I was never late for work, but I didn't like being late for work. No. Jim and I always had this little disagreement because when Jim started work at 7 o'clock, he'd be at work at like 6:15, so that he could have a cigarette and a cup of coffee and sit there and wait. And then he'd laugh at everybody that just showed up on time. And they were laughing at him because you got there so much earlier. To each their own, I guess, to each their own. But I got up this morning at a pretty normal time for me, and then I went to the dollar store that's going out of business because my cousin Lynn, I got to take this call. I'll be right back. And just like that, I'm back. It was my sister Mary. She was just telling me all of her trials and tribulations of calling everybody today to try to get things straightened around with bills and stuff like that. But anyway, like I said, this morning I got up and I went to the Dollar Tree because they're going out of business, and there was some little pastel paint kits or something that my cousin Lynn liked for her granddaughter, so she wanted me to go over there to buy them. And they didn't have the exact ones. They had some littler ones, so I FaceTimed with her and we got that situated. And then I went to the Hallmark store because Christy doesn't watch my channel, so I can tell you what I got her. She does Wizard of Oz tree, and I always get her Wizard of Oz ornaments, and I always wait to the very last minute, and they always run out of them, then I got to search all over town for them. And I went in there, and I got the last two, because there's two different ones. I got the last two of them, and I go, you're going to have to restock, and they go, no, those are the last two. We don't have any more, because they're a collector's item, and that's why they don't send out a lot of them. So I'm glad I got them out of the way. And then I went to the post office. I got a card. I didn't open it because I know, I'm straining here. So I got a card. Let me see if I can open it. My second Christmas card. My first one was from Edie. My second Christmas card. Oh, that's really in there. I knew I could do it. Oh, it's a Thanksgiving card. Forget it. It's not a Christmas card. It's a Thanksgiving card. It was probably there before Thanksgiving, but I didn't get over there in time. Let there be stories and laughter and food, generous blessings and warm gratitude. Let there be joy in your moments together. Let there be family whose love is forever. Well, I know my family it is. Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving filled with joyful times together, meaningful traditions to share, and especially love. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Love, Debbie Clark. Thank you, Debbie. She always sends me a card for Christmas and Thanksgiving and my birthday and Easter and all those good holidays. And then I messenger with people on Facebook, and I text message. You guys make me feel so loved. You really do. And then I came home and I had a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast and a hard-boiled egg. And then I started to put my Christmas decorations up. I usually go gung-ho, but I don't know what it is this year. I'm just not in the Christmas spirit. I've got a few Christmas presents, but not a lot. We put up the tree in the living room. I put up my manger, my nativity set. I've got that up. I hung my stockings with care because I want Santa to put some money or something in my stockings. And then I was just done. Stick a fork at me, I was done. And so then we had mustacholi for dinner. I made some mustacholi and sausages for dinner. And that's it. Tomorrow I'll do my dining room table and my kitchen table. I'll decorate that. I'll put up my ceramic Christmas tree that I made years and years ago. And then I think I'm done. Like I said, I don't know I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I don't want all the snow that Edie and all them got. I don't want all that, but I think once there's a little bit of snow on the ground, I'll feel a little bit more Christmassy, I guess. Tomorrow is Sebastian's band concert. So we're going to go to that. And then Thursday he's got another basketball game. So we're going to go to that. And yeah, other than that, I haven't got any really big major plans for the rest of the week. Just kind of, I don't know what it is. I'm just kind of like I just kind of feel like a Golumsky. I don't know. Oh, and then Chrissy told me to watch this movie. It's awful. I'm not recommending it because I watched it because I kept thinking it was going to get better. With the Nutcracker, with Ben Stiller and Linda Cardellini or something. She used to be on ER. And then the four boys are brothers in real life, and they really do ballet. That's what, hence the Nutcracker. But no. And so then Chrissy said, well, when you get to my favorite part, you're going to know it. You're just going to know it. And then call me because I want you to tell me if you think it's as funny as I think it was. So I watched the whole movie, which was almost an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. It was 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. No. Oh, another Christmas movie I watched, which was good, which was cute, not good, but cute, was Hot Frosty on Netflix. About this lady that puts a scarf around a sculpture of a naked snowman, and it turns into a man, and like a Hallmark movie type of thing. But anyway, back to the Nutcracker. So I couldn't figure out what it was, and so I forgot all about it. And by the time I got done watching it, I knew she was in bed, so I didn't call her. So then I was calling her the next day, and so she says, "What are you having for dinner?" Yeah, I called her yesterday. She said, "What are you having for dinner?" "What did we have for dinner last night?" "Oh, we had pizza." I said, "Oh, we just had pizza." And she said, "I had Elizabeth Delicious meal." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And she says, "Didn't you see that in the movie? It was so funny." And I go, "What?" And she says, "The chicken that Ben Stiller killed for dinner," because they lived on a farm. And the chicken's name was Elizabeth. And so when they were eating the chicken, the little boy said, "This chicken is Elizabeth Delicious, a delicious Elizabeth." I can't even say it. But Chrissy says it all the time. It was Elizabeth Delicious. Anyway, it was a play on the word of Elizabeth. And it came out delicious. So she says, "I'm never referring it to chicken anymore. I'm calling it Delicious Elizabeth," whatever it is. Now I got to call Christy. I got to call her because I can't remember what it is. I'll be right back. Delishabeth. Yeah, Delishabeth. Instead of Elizabeth, Delishabeth. I guess it's cute, I guess. So she calls it Delishabeth. See, now look how easy that is to say. It kind of rolls off my tongue now. Didn't roll off my tongue before, did it? Anyway, so I got a few more Vlogmas videos to watch today. I watched, what did I watch? I still got to watch Kim. I watched Joan. I watched Edie. I watched Valerie. I watched Lainey's Life. I think I watched Terry Weeks. But I got to watch a couple more. Not that there's nothing else on TV anyhow. So this is going to make for a nice evening for me. So anyway. All right, Vlogmas Day 3. I know, not exciting. Delisabeth. See, it rolled off my tongue a minute ago, but it's not anyhow. I'm not recommending the movie. Just so you know, I am not recommending the movie. It started off kind of like Overboard with Goldie Hawn, which I do love that movie, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. I love that movie. That was good. I would put that as one of my favorite comedies, along with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I love that. You can never get tired of watching them. You just never can. So that'll be it for Vlogmas Day 3. So like, comment, subscribe, and share, and have a happy holiday, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.